Now, if you would have told me a year ago that this would have even been a possibility, that Marcus Rashford could join Arsenal after having one of his worst seasons of his career, having attitude issues off the pitch, and not even being selected for England for the Euros in 2024, and I would be saying that I think it would actually be a really awesome move for Arsenal if we do land him, well then I would have thought that you are crazy. But I guess here we are. There are rumors that Mikel Arteta has already spoken with Marcus Rashford to gauge the interest of the 26-year-old Englishman to see if he'd be willing to join Arsenal this summer. And at first I hated the idea of Marcus Rashford joining Arsenal, but now that I think about it even more, I actually really like the idea, and I can definitely see where he could fit in this team. And last season, after so many people wrote off Kai Havertz, who has now turned out to be amazing for Arsenal, well then many Arsenal fans, including me, aren't actually that nervous to take another chance on a one-to-way Premier League star. But why do I think, despite him being so poor this season, why do I think Marcus Rashford would actually be a really good signing for Arsenal, borderline game-changing for us? Well, that's what we'll be talking about today. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Gunner Central here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, two things right off the bat work in favor of Arsenal signing Marcus Rashford. First thing is that Arteta usually signs players that are able to play multiple roles and multiple positions. Look at Declan Rice, who is able to play a 6, an 8, or even a centre-back at times. Tomiyasu, who is able to play across the whole back line. Kiwior has multiple positions. Havertz, Timber, Gabby Jesus, and so on. And Marcus Rashford definitely fits this mold. Marcus is capable of playing across the front line. I mean, he is predominantly a left wing, but he definitely can play striker and can also play right wing. So there's that. And another thing that Marcus Rashford checks off the box is the fact that he fills a position of need, and that being a forward. Rashford is at first definitely a left winger as his first position, but even there, Martinelli hasn't been great this season. Trossard was amazing, but Trossard is more of your utility man who can play left wing, right wing striker, and the same with Marcus Rashford. But even then, Marcus Rashford's best position is the left wing. I think his best position in my eyes is when he plays down the middle as a striker, and he's even not that bad as a right winger. This season he played 10 out of his 43 games as an out and out striker, so those are two things working in Marcus Rashford's favor. He's able to play multiple positions and he's able to fill a position of need. Now, yes, Marcus isn't coming off an extremely good season. Actually, I would say a borderline bad season for Marcus Rashford standards. I mean, he's only scored 8 goals and got 5 assists in 43 games this season, which is very, very underwhelming numbers. But I think we can all agree at the age of 26, Marcus Rashford is still fairly young and still a very good player. I mean, the season before that, he got himself 30 goals and 10 assists in 56 games, getting 11 of those goals and 5 of those assists from the striker position. Marcus Rashford, with the right guys around him and the right team around him, is an ice-cold finisher with a really good eye for goal, really good movements, and is extremely, extremely quick. Now, yes, Rashford does have some bad attitude problems at times. He's very inconsistent and sometimes looks absolutely lost on the pitch. But everyone was saying the exact same thing about Kai Havertz not even a year ago, saying that Kai Havertz was a hopeless player and was never going to be able to live up to his price tag. Well, here he is, arguably having his best season of his career and being one of the faces of Arsenal and arguably one of the best players of the season. Now, I'm not saying Rashford will absolutely explode if he joins Arsenal or become the next Kai Havertz, because there are a lot of things that have to go right. But Arteta has already shown interest. Arteta knows how to lead players to fixing problems on and off the pitch, and he's able to make players much better than the rest of the world thought they were. We have seen countless amount of times in all sports that a winning culture like the one that Arsenal have now can get the best out of players. And if Rashford joins a new culture, a new club under a manager like Mikel Arteta, I genuinely think it could be a really good signing for the club. It may sound crazy, and honestly, there probably are other players that I would rather have Arsenal sign, like as unrealistic as it is Rafael Leao. But with Rashford being able to play across the front line, which will add to the depth, increased competition at the striker position, left wing position, and I mean Rashford could even play as a backup at times for Saka at right wing, I don't see why this would be the worst move in the world. He is a proven Premier League scorer, versatile, still 26 years old, can give depth and competition at left wing and striker, can aid as a backup for Bukayo Saka. I genuinely think if, and there is a big if, but if Arsenal were to sign him, this would be absolutely game-changing for us. I would prefer Marcus Rashford as our striker to play him down the middle, but I wouldn't mind him being a utility man like a Trossard, playing out left, playing on the right, playing down the middle. I really think Rashford is capable of producing at all three positions, but for me, I would play him primarily down the middle, having Saka next to him with either Martinelli or Trossard. Then you can have Kai Havertz maybe play at striker for certain games. I really think adding Rashford into the squad will just add to the depth up front, will allow us to do different things. Rashford coming off the bench with his pace will be absolutely outstanding. I really think this would be an amazing move for Arsenal. Now, the price is a massive talking point. I honestly wouldn't pay anything more than, let's say, around £70 million for him. He is coming off a bad season at United. Ten Hag probably doesn't see Rashford as a first choice player in his best 11, and he apparently does have attitude problems. Ten Hag isn't too keen on him. I wouldn't pay anything more than around £70 million, around the same price tag we paid for Havertz. I just think that if we pay, let's say, 80 to 90 million, well, then we're taking slight bit too much of a risk for me. But yeah, I think it would be an awesome signing to get Marcus Rashford in. He's definitely capable of scoring 20 Premier League goals a season, especially in a team like Arsenal's with the chances that we create. Odegaard could give a lot of through balls for Marcus Rashford to play up top or to play out wide either way. I really think Marcus Rashford will be a very good signing for Arsenal.